Hello, everybody, and welcome. Oh, welcome back to the second shelf. Yes, I am back after a little over 3 months, and thank you all for your patience. And I hope you will stick with me. But yeah, update. I'm a bit out of out of video filming experience anyway. Little update on the last 3 months, and I will also talk about some of the book highlights, because yes, I did read, even though I didn't read as much. We will get into all of that. So in February, my mom broke her leg. My mom is 30, my mom is 93, so this is not a small thing. I mean, breaking a leg is never a small thing, but certainly not for somebody that old. And there was a lot of caretaking, and she's doing fine, by the way, now. It healed, everything healed after the surgery and the rehab and physiotherapy and everything. She's back home. She lives by herself, by the way, so everything is worked out fine in the end. But it was kind of strenuous for her, certainly, but also for me, trying to take care of her. And once she was on the mend, kind of in March, I think my last video was end of March, I was sick. I had a really, I don't want to get into too much details, but I had a really bad issues with my back, among other things. A lot of pain involved. To painkillers, I can tell you. No opioids, just ibuprofen and stuff like that. But anti-rheumatic medicine. But yeah, that it was pretty tough. I'm also on the mend now. I'm still not very comfortable sitting for a long time in the same position. That's a euphemism. I'm very uncomfortable. So, but that's a good thing, because the videos won't be, half hour long, because I'm probably can't sit that long. So it's still a long way for me to get really better. But at least I'm on the right track. So, and I thought after now my mom is doing better, and I'm still on sick leave, but I'm feeling that I'm, not getting worse and not being stable, but maybe even getting better. So I wanted to come back to Booktube, because I really missed it, even though it was just absolutely impossible for me to film, whining about my pain and how bad everything is. It's no fun to watch. But anyway, so that's in a nutshell, the 3 months since the beginning of April until now. I will reduce the schedule for the videos. So for now, the next couple of months, I think even towards the end of the year, I will film 1 video a week. And that will be my Sunday video. I have also some ideas how to structure that, because it's less videos, and I'm thinking also of changing it up a little bit, to make it new, also for me, but also for you. But as you can see, the setup is still the same. I am still the same. I will talk about books. I will talk about the books I read. I will do the videos that I really love making, like the tops and flops and, book hauls and things like that. But I'm also thinking of more theme-oriented videos, like, how to get into classics or feminist literature or stuff like that. But this is just a video to say hello. I'm back. Hopefully you remember me. Hopefully you continue watching my videos, and then we'll see where it goes. But the first certain change that I will make is that I will film 1 video a week, and that video will be uploaded on Sunday as usual. So the Wednesday video I will skip for the coming months. I already said that I did read a lot of audiobooks also, because that was easier when I was lying down, to listen to something. And it was also less, it just takes less brain power if somebody reads a book to you. One of the things that I did already, I think back in last month or even the month before, is to take the pressure off, because I really felt bad to skip Booktube and to abandon Booktube. I felt like I abandoned you, and to not read as much. And one of the things that I immediately did was I changed my Goodreads goal from 177, which is my birthday, to just 17. So I made my goal already, and I'm just not counting. Be honest, I try not to count. Sometimes I can't help it, and we'll have a look how far behind I am if I still had 177 as a goal. That's just me. At my age, some things are just the way they are, and you will never be able to change it. So anyway, but that is something to take the pressure off a little bit and to be more relaxed about my reading and not being on Booktube and everything. I will restart a couple of things that I couldn't do in those 3 months. The first is, if you go down to the description box, you will see the classics, and I just deleted the ones in the first half of the month because I'm not going to catch up. I'm very sorry if you expected, to read with me, but it's just not feasible to catch up. But I will start July, August, and the July, August book, as you can see down in the description, is this one, Emilia Pardo Bazan, The House of Ulloa, translated from the Spanish by Paul O'Prey and Lucia Graves. This is a 19th century novel, end of the 19th century, where the father, I think this is supposed to be Father Julian Alvarez, who is sent to a remote country estate to put the affairs of the Marquis, an irresponsible libertine, in order. And plot ensues from there, obviously. So I will read this book in July and August, and then there are 2 more because I picked one book for every 2 months, and I still didn't make it in the first half of the year. But this I will pick up. I will also finally, Sandy, she was so patient with me, Sandy from Ms. Reads a Lot. She asked me to be co-host for her book club. We both do the 1001 books we want to read before we die. I made my own list, all women, and she looked at my list, I looked at her list, and we came up with 10 books that are on both of our lists, and she asked me to be co-host for her book club. She picks one book every month, except for January and August, for her book club. And I read the first 2, I think. Yeah, January was no book. February I read, and then March, April, May. I just left her hanging as a co-host. So I was probably the crappiest of crappy co-hosts, and I'm really sorry. But I did pick up the June book, Love's Work by Gillian Rose, which is the only nonfiction on the list. So I will talk about this book, and I will continue trying to be a better co-host in the second half of the year. And then I want to end this video with a couple of highlights that I read during these 3 months of going AWOL. And the first is a book that was picked by the Book Naturalist Book Club, which is run by Heidi from My Reading Life and Doris from All the Books, where they come up with a list of nature-related books, mostly nonfiction, but there is some fiction in it. And in June, I think it was in June, the pick was Monique Roffey, The Mermaid of Black Conch. And I thought it was such a wonderful read. It is the story of a mermaid who gets discovered and caught and saved and falling in love with a regular human. But I'm not a huge fan of the mermaid trope or mermaid tale, because I feel it can be such a sexist way of talking about female body, like covering everything, closing everything up, that has anything to do with the female genitals. And then she's saved by a man, and then she can open her legs because she becomes a human. It's always a bit icky for me, but this is a completely different tale. How the mermaid is pictured and how the plot develops. I'm not going to tell you more than that. So I definitely enjoyed this one tremendously. The other book I read, and that was, I think, rather towards the beginning of my absence. I think it was in April, and it was just kind of the book that I needed. One of the themes that I'm started to explore is the unhinged woman in literature. And there might be a book in there somewhere. I mean, a book written by me. And one of the first books that I read is Mona Award's book, All Is Well, published just a couple of years ago. I read her first book, Bunny, which was hilarious. It was a campus novel with these group of extremely unlikable young women who called each other Bunny. And it was weird and also violent, but also hilarious. The title is an illusion. Illusion is something else. So it alludes to Shakespeare's play, All's Well That Ends Well. And our main character, of course, I forget all the name, Miranda, is a actress, but she had an accident and has chronic back pain, which in my situation kind of, gelled with me. And so she cannot act anymore, but she is now a director and she wants to put on this play, All's Well That Ends Well. And then you have this group of young students who will act the play, and her interaction with that. And again, not too much of the plot, but the gist of the book is how, as a society, do we look at female pain? There are a couple of male physicians and physiotherapists, and the message is we don't take it seriously, really. It's mostly in our heads if we have pain as females. So it's a dark twist, of course, because it's Mona Award, but Award, maybe? I should have looked that up. I need to remember that I have to look shit up before I come on and film. But we will get into the filming mode again. But I really, really enjoyed this one, especially because of, I could relate to it, but also the message. Take us bloody seriously if we say something, and especially also if we say we are in pain. And the last book I want to mention took me 2 months to read. I read it together with Adam from Memento Mori. And we took it slow because it is quite heavy and very, loaded with text. And that is Praiseworthy by Alexis Wright, published last year. And it won the Stella Prize, the Australian Book Prize, and a couple of other prizes. So we are very much trendy in the prize thing, but that's not why we read it. This is a book that is impossible to describe. It is a hard read. It's about this imaginary village, Praiseworthy, where things happen, especially around one family, a father, mother, and 2 sons. The younger son, Tommyhawk, and the older son, 17-year-old and they exemplify the indigenous. Alex Wright is an indigenous writer. I should have said that, in Australian indigenous writer. They exemplify the indigenous experience, and this book could. If I explain it to you, you will think, well, that's corny, that is not working, that is tropey. That's why I'm not explaining it to you. It is a commitment. I will say it's not an easy read, certainly not if you are like me and have issues with pages and pages just of text. Because I physically find it hard to read. So that's why it was good that Adam and I took it slow, 2 months, really. But it is one of the most unique books I have read, certainly the last 10 years. And when it comes to the topic of Indigenous life and what it means to live as an Indigenous person in Australia, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. But like I said, beware, it is a commitment, and it's not an easygoing, read that you can just flip through. You have to give it time. And you also, I think, have to accept the fact that while you read, you might not get everything. Just let Alexis Wright take your hand, go with the flow. And in the end, I'm sure if you stick with it, you will agree with me that it's an absolutely fantastic, unique read. So yes, this is Praiseworthy by Alexis Wright. 17 minutes. And I need to get up. I feel it, that I need to get up. Anyway, I'm really happy that I'm back. I hope you are happy as well. Thank you very much for watching, if you actually did watch this video. As always, I'm so thrilled that I can have your comments again in the comment section. And I will see you again soon in the next video, which will be next Sunday.